Well, hello, darlings. Back for the last little look at the Nevermore. I am so pleased with this cover and how it's come out. It's absolutely lush. And the texture on that spine is amazing. Still losing a little bit of fluff from the back of the book plate, but that's okay. It'll come to its own character with a bit of use. So it's not finished, but is definitely ready to go on to a new home. It's got lots of space, especially at the tops and the bottoms of the pages and the edges. So it's got room to grow for sure. So let's have a little look inside. I've just got a simple leather sort of shoelace cord closure. And I found this leather cord in like one of the discount stores. I find it quite often for like 40 pence. It's not expensive, but it's really strong. So the idea now for this one, for my Ex Libris card, is that this book was once Poe's personal sort of journal of observations about monsters that he's encountered. So I've done an Ex Libris card. And for those that don't know, Ex Libris is Latin for from the library of. So it's from the library of Edgar Allan Poe. The ledger of creatures, observations, and curious evidence gathered in shadowed places and forgotten hollows. And on the bottom there, to be preserved and passed on. So the idea is that this lived in Poe's personal library, quite separate to any of his published works, back in the early 1800s, and on the back of the card, I've topped it with a little bit of that extra leather from the spine, and on the back, we've got, let no whisper go unrecorded, no shadow unobserved, no myths dismissed as fancy, ink may fade, but what is written remembers. So then I've used my stamps to add some previous keepers of the book. So S. Salingus ended up with the book in 1898. So that's a fair chunk of time, nearly 50 years after Poe has passed at that point. William Locke is the next keeper, who comes into the book in 1936. And then I've got a signature stamp, Sylvia White, ended up with the book in 1974. So whoever is the next keeper of the book can record their name here and the year. And then there's a blank space for an additional keeper after that. So I quite like the idea that the book has been preserved and passed on. And of course, the more it's worked in, the more sort of aged it's going to become. So lots of space left in here to work. Even more space if you take out the things that I've put in, if that makes sense. That's up to the new owner. So I've got Frank on that side, the pocket there. I did go back and fix some of those wax seals to make them thinner because the other ones were far too bulky. So you've got those for the trifold writing spaces inside. And I think, isn't there 6 of those in here? Yeah, and I've sort of tied the bows off center a bit to address some of the bulk because they're all sort of in the center of the book. But on these pages, you've got sort of space here to play with at the top as well, because of the way the pages are layered. So that flips out. Nothing on there yet. Another wax seal in here. A shredded open envelope, where I've just backed from the kit the 2 pieces and used a tear ruler to make it look like it's been ripped open. Envelope tucked there. Got our werewolf. And there's some lovely quotes in there from Poe about transformation. I got that journaling card, which then has got some aged paper on the back. Or handmade paper on the back, sorry. That is an empty tuck in that page, quite a deep one. What did you say, Brendan? Wraith or Banshee? I'm not sure. So that page, those faux glassine envelopes are in there. Those can be left as bundles or scattered about the journal with more little pockets and places to tuck things. space there. These are in there for just to hold writing cards. That's some old piano roll paper that I stuck on there. And room on the backs of those as well. Those are embossed tucks we made. Grim Reaper. Folio. Coin envelope. Not folio, coin envelope. And that one, I quite like the way the staining came out on that one. My sewing machine did not like me when I did that. But I quite like the effect. Because it's all loose and slightly creepy. And those have come out quite nice as journaling cards. So those then go away. And these again could be removed and the new owner create new content. Our scarecrow, more glassine envelopes, a mummy. I quite like the way that one has come out as well. And those have got some sort of, I think, a few fairies on that one with the dyed paper and web on that one. I think that quite suits. And then, of course, you've got this teal color going on with the bride. So that flips out. Plenty of room there and a tuck spot behind. Space there. I've got a scarecrow and a tag written with crumple dyed. Go back in there. There we go. Frames him quite nicely. Pocket there, which can have something added to it. A tuck with a new seal that's thinner. That flips out. There's a pocket there, nothing in it yet. There's a couple of those in there. Another one of those trifolds with an envelope. And space there to work. Another one of those. I quite like the blood stain effect that I managed to get with that one as well. Quite chuffed with that. And those have got tea stained and inked tags. And so there's lots of blank space. There's lots of room to play in here. And there's lots of room to play on the tops of things and bottoms of things that can be seen through the layered pages. So Dracula and another folio. That goes out. Another coin envelope. Plenty of space here. Another trifold. Again, it's the trifolds and if you took those out and those out, the book would be very small. So it's just distributing things around the pages now. I'm missing a page? No, that goes all the way out. Yes. So room there, envelope here, torn edge there. That flips out for another one of those cards. Another pocket back there. The witch, I love that witch. Another one in there with a new seal. And the last page flips out with another one. So no, I'm really quite pleased with how this has come out and ready to pass it on. So I've made my sort of faith and grits. I found a sticker, one of my old sticker books, from Bram Stoker's Dracula. Listen to them, the children of the night, what music they make. So I've done my faith and grits card to go into the back pocket. There is an Easter egg hidden in here from my notes and my spine template that I normally hide in my books. And then the room behind me, my darlings, is, oh my word, you wouldn't believe it. I've got a lot of tidying up to do. It happens every time I get the grungy stuff out. See? So to go along with that, I've gone through part of the mess behind me, and I've got a folder of like extra bits. It's like extra bits of the hand-dyed paper and the grungier pieces that I made. Offcuts of the lace dye paper. There's a few different ones in there that I've done. and a few extra, I'll go back in there, and there's a couple of extra ones of these that I fussy cut but didn't use. So they can go along and live with this journal. And then in this little takeaway pot, I've got some of the trims, offcuts of that leather, that dishcloth that I dyed up, and there's some smaller fussy cut, and the quotes. All of the Poe quotes are in there ready to go into the book. You just hit that stage where you think, right, somebody else needs to play with this now and put their own spin on it. So that is all going to get tidied up into something a little more grungier to go as a companion with the book. If I decide to list and sell it, and if I don't, it will go away, and I'll perhaps bring it out and work it on it another time. But I think it's going to go to a new home. So thank you ever so much for sticking around, and hope you've had some inspiration. So that's all for me for now. I've got a lot of tidying up to do. So thank you, my darlings, and hope to see you back again soon. Bye for now.